You're welcome to Law and Property with Dr. Prince Joel, your real estate investment coach. On this channel, you will be learning everything you need to know about real estate transactions, investment, documentations, and property management. If these interest you, do subscribe. Click the notification button below so that the next time I post any video, you will be notified. Today, on landlord and tenant relationship, we will be discussing types of tenants in Nigeria. Are you a tenant? What type of tenant are you? Let's talk about it today. There are different types of tenancy in Nigeria. Tenancy can be created for different purposes, different tenor, or different mood. Today, I will be discussing 5 types of tenancy in Nigeria. Number 1, tenant at will. A person is said to be a tenant at will where the person is staying in a property on the permission of the landlord. The permission of the landlord does not have a specific period. A good example is when your rent expires and you continue to stay in the property, you automatically become a tenant at will because you're still staying in that property on the permission of the landlord. If the landlord wants to evict you, all the landlord needs to do is to give you a 7 days notice, and it serves you owner's intention to recover property. He takes you to court and he will evict you. The moment you start staying in a property on the permission of the landlord without paying a rent and you continue to stay, you're automatically a tenant at will. Remember, it's usually an understanding, arrangement between yourself and the landlord. Number 2, periodic tenancy. A tenant is said to be a periodic tenant where the term of the tenancy is for a duration. Example, monthly tenant, quarterly tenant, half a year tenant, or yearly tenant. It's for a duration. This type of tenancy can be seen to be a long tenancy because it is renewable. It is renewable by payment of rent. The only way to terminate this type of tenancy is by the landlord issuing a notice to quit. For example, in Lagos State, a tenant that pays rent half a year, that is every 6 months, receives a 3-month notice before he's evicted. A tenant that pays rent yearly, that is once a year, receives a 6-month notice before he's evicted. Number 3, a fixed tenancy. A fixed tenancy is that tenancy that is for a certain time. It has a beginning, it has an end. This type of tenancy defines when it comes to an end. Immediately it comes to an end and the tenant refuses to leave the property, the landlord will approach the courts to recover his property. Remember, it's for a certain term, 1 year certain. The beginning is known, the end is known. Number 4, statutory tenants. Statutory tenant is when a tenant continues to stay in a property after the fixed and periodic tenancy has expired with the protection of the law. What it simply means is that a landlord cannot evict you without going through the due process of the law. You are statutorily protected by the laws of the land. The landlord must give you the requisite notices, must go to court, get a court order before he evicts you. Within that period, you are still in the property. The addition is that you will pay what they call men's profits. So while the landlord is going to court to evict you, the landlord will claim every day that you have stayed in that property, you will pay it until the last day he gets the court order. So if you have stayed 6 months, 7, 8 months, and the landlord gets an order on the 12th month, the landlord will recover the 12 months that you have stayed in that property till the last day. And that is what is called men's profits. Number 5, tenancy by Extrapol. This type of tenancy is created where a person leases a property to a tenant without having title or ownership of the property. The landlord cannot be prevented from the existence of a landlord and tenant relationship, even though he was not the one who rented the apartment. The tenant in the property cannot prevent the landlord from the existence of a landlord and tenant relationship, even though the person who rented the apartment to the tenant, it's not the original landlord or does not have title. When this type of tenancy is created, it is governed by a tenancy that is expressly entered into. To know more about landlord and tenant relationship, I have a book called Compilation of Articles on Law and Property in Nigeria Simplified. This book will guide you on everything you need to know about law and property. All the details about this book you will find in the description box below. I remain your favorite real estate investment coach, Dr. Prince Joel.